Alright, so I'm about to replace this lens, because you can't just replace this lens, you have to replace this whole piece. I got a new one to replace the whole thing since it was all scratched up anyway. And some of these buttons, you can hear them clicking, but they didn't seem to be working. I'm hoping it's just the buttons. So, but you can't just take this outer shell piece off. There's 3 screws. There's one there, and one right here. You can't get to these 2 on the side because of the handlebars, and you can't just loosen the handlebars to where they'll roll forward because there's a metal brace. Let me see if I can show you in here. I don't know if you can see it. Let me see if I can move this out of the way. That middle piece right there doesn't give you enough room to just loosen this up and roll the handlebars. So you've got to, I'm going to try taking this nut here, I've already loosened it, and the one on the other side to just hold these brackets on, and see if that'll let me just lay it down and get to the bolts up under there. Alright, let's see what happens. Alright, so removing these bolts right here for the handlebars didn't do anything. I thought this was mounted on there, but it's not. But now that I got up in here, see if I can show you that bolt right there holds this metal bracket that holds all this together. There's 2 of them, this side and there's one on the other side. So if I can get in there and get those, that should let me roll this back and take a look at what's holding that on there. Alright, so we loosened up the 2, or took off the 2 bolts that were here. They were a 12mm. The only problem I ran into was this brace right here for the front brake line was in the way, so I had to bend this back to get to it, so I'll have to loosen that up, back up. So all we should have to do now is take off these 2 other bolts and that one that's in the front with a Phillips head screwdriver, and we should be able to get the display out, then loosen up these little nuts or little screws. Probably have to take this bracket off, and then we'll be able to replace the screen. Alright, just a quick snapshot. I got this taken off, and you can see there is your key switch, and this is just the breather hose from your gas tank top here that just goes down there, and I think that just dead ends right there. And once you get this out, it's a lot easier to work with. You got a lot more play in the wires. So we got to take this bracket off from these 4 nuts right here, and then we should be able to get the screws out. Alright, so this is what the inside looks like. Got the computer board and the screen, and here's the inside of the box. Very clean. This rubber seal here, there's a little bit of dirt there, but that's from my hand, from checking this little rubber gasket and making sure that it was going to be functional or not, but I got a new one anyway, so let's go ahead and put that on. Alright, so I got this put back together with a nice pretty new screen. Just need to wipe it off. Now all we need to do is just put the, where'd that bracket go? This bracket back on there, and once that bracket's on there, we'll be able to mount it back in there, and these are going to be 10mm nuts that were on here. Alright, so I got the bracket back on there, or the mount, and the way you know which side goes which, this is actually the place where one of these screws that holds the cover on. So it'll go right next to the power cable on the down side.